Alright, so what's up guys, it's Matters. I want to go through a bunch of interesting stuff regarding storyline for Call of Duty World War II Zombies. Now, obviously, there are a lot of different angles we can look at here with Nazi zombies. One just being that this could have been a real thing. Like, Nazi zombies was something they actually looked into. The Nazi party looked into creating zombies with their crazy human experiments. So it's based off of a real thing. It's just a matter of what Sledgehammer Games is going to do to make it a really fun and insanely cool game mode. And I want to go through a bit of the specifics. Obviously, Hitler being a playable character is one just sort of triggered point, which I think in general is like, okay, would they actually do that? They're already not going to have swastikas in the zombies game mode, so why would they let you guys play as Hitler? Why would they let anyone play as Hitler if they're already not going to put swastikas in? It's going to be, a bit PC, a bit, neutral. Obviously, they don't want to trigger anyone. I understand why. It's a really sensitive topic, but there's a lot of different things that we're going to go through here. And if they did that, how would it be? How would they make this campaign, this new zombies campaign, new zombies, Nazi zombies game mode, as sick as possible? I think, Hitler being a part of that, it'd just be such a cool thing. So, that being said, if you can leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. And let's get started. So, I need to explain myself, so I'm not like making Hitler I think you guys understand what I mean by this. I'm not making Hitler as this glorified character, as this, crazy guy that we all praise and love, because obviously, he did bad things. I think that's very obvious, but within this Nazi Zombies game mode, and there are different ideas of how they can structure it, having Hitler as this character, this I want to parallel him to Richthofen, but not necessarily. I think Richthofen at some points was this evil, crazy guy, wanting to, blow up the earth and, do all these crazy, I don't know, whatever Richthofen wants to do. It seems as if he got a sort of good in Black Ops 3. It really is all up in the air to whether or not Richthofen is bad or good. I remember all the different theories back during Black Ops 3. But Richthofen is this almost crazy, Nazi scientist. It's sort of his thing, he's like this leader, he's this crazy guy, and, Hitler is obviously a insanely glorified version, clearly evil, clearly this mad, insane evil, and he would be leading the charge in Nazi zombies for World War II, for COD World War II, to actually create this insane, zombie army that is obviously used to fight people and take over the world. And that's basically what Hitler wanted to do. Like, this is based off of actual things. Hitler himself, like, if you this, I'm talking about actual history. I'll leave some articles where it talks about Hitler, being interested in all this ancient mythological lore and stuff being, referenced to bringing humans and animals back from the dead. And then, he told his soldiers and told his crazy scientists and his team to actually look into this. And, they were already doing human experiments. Just on the prisoners and whatever. But they stepped that up to different human experiments where they would mutate these humans, they would use different chemicals or whatever they used to actually try to, in some cases bring them back to life or bring parts of their body back to life and just do all this insane stuff. And obviously, maybe they didn't know the term was zombies back then, but obviously we know when you're bringing something back from the dead, it's a freaking zombie. So again, Hitler, if they were to do this, Nazi zombies campaign in World War II, would be this main guy leading the charge, this mad, he's not a scientist, this mad, just insanely driven leader. And then, a part of his crew, if you had 4 characters, you'd have maybe the mad scientist, actually creating the zombies, and then his 2 other partners, and that would be the 4 people, in this Nazi zombies game mode. But now you're probably thinking, like, oh, well, why would they be fighting zombies? They're not going to be fighting zombies. Now, this is on a different term. It's not going to be, in this case, a survival-based game mode, or at least, the campaign obviously isn't with these characters. You're not going to have, I'm pretty sure, Hitler and his Nazi team, fighting zombies. They're the ones who want the zombies to actually go after people. And here we go to a bunch of different subsections of how this could work, okay? So one, you have a campaign where you have the Nazi soldiers and then, Hitler and the mad scientists, whatever. They're creating the zombies. They're trying to, create this ultimate, race or, create this ultimate empire, whatever they want to do. But you have an alternate I guess, how do I explain this? One mission, it's like an alternate campaign where you go back and forth. So the first mission is like you're playing as Hitler and these characters, and it's like the zombies campaign where you go through, you do all this insane stuff. You're spawning zombies, you're creating zombies. And then on the other hand, you have 4, I guess, American soldiers, or 4 different soldiers from, maybe one from France, one from Britain, one from the US, just different allied soldiers going against these Nazis and fighting Nazi zombies, like the sort of typical fighting Nazis sort of thing that you would see in like a movie or something. So that would be the case, and it would go back and forth. So the actual killing of the zombies, of the Nazi zombies, would be from that side of the campaign. And then you would switch over and you would play as this mad scientist, or you play as this creator, and just all this insane stuff of really the backstory of why it's actually happening, and this sort of this duel within this Nazi zombies game mode. And obviously that would probably I think that's honestly the best idea for a Nazi zombies campaign, And that being said, if there is a campaign, I think this time around, all right, let me. I just have to add this. I remember there were leaks back before Black Ops 2 was released that the leaks, or I don't know if Treyarch said this themselves, but they said Transit was going to be this campaign experience or something like that. I hope that was just a theory back then, because Jesus, obviously it wasn't. It was just a couple random maps, brought together where a freaking bus. That was not a campaign experience. That was not a storyline experience. And I remember that leak being somewhere. That was just stupid. I remember there was another thing with Black Ops 3, a bit more relevant. Probably people know this, where zombies will have the story mode, and it was Nightmares mode, which was like, I don't even know what Nightmares was. It was campaign, but with some zombies. It was really stupid. It didn't really make sense. It was just some stupid stuff there. It wasn't like an actual real zombies game mode. It was just a rundown campaign. It was stupid. Now, if you think about Sledgehammer Games, it seems as if they actually want to do something really same, and their teasers and their things, they're going back to what they did with Dead Space, which is obviously a huge campaign experience there with zombies, and a bunch of different stuff went on there. So I think this time around, it's safe to say we're going to see some sort of campaign. Now, survival-based mode hopefully will be there as well. That's probably for a different video. I mean, I think it's safe to say that we're going to see when they know the success of Treyarch Zombies Survival, so they know they're going to have that there. And if you want to talk about the storyline of that, I think that would simply just be in the perspective of a bunch of different, allied forces, like I said, and obviously, Hitler and the Nazis aren't gonna be freaking fighting their own zombies unless some crazy thing happens where like the zombies turn against them, or I mean that's just a bit too outlandish. But I mean, okay, so the survival mode would just be the American soldiers, or a French soldier or a UK soldier, whatever the hell it is, So the campaign, though, they could really play with it. Throughout the Nazi Zombies campaign, it doesn't necessarily need to base around killing zombies. Like, just because it's a Nazi Zombies campaign game mode, or campaign mode, whatever you want to call it, story mode, it doesn't, like, every second doesn't need to be, oh, we're killing zombies, because then it just gets boring, it just gets repetitive, You want some actual storyline, you want something to be cool, make sense, and have cool new experiences, And if they really want to make something insane, they would give us these just insane perspectives of what it would have been like if Hitler and his crew just created this insane Nazi zombie army, and being in his perspective would be such a different, just cool experience. It definitely be something a lot of people would love. Now again, just to add this side, because I want to be realistic as well, obviously this is, none of this is confirmed, but they're already, not putting swastikas in the zombies and multiplayer game modes, and apparently they're going to be some in campaign just because it's historically accurate. And I don't know how many swastikas, it doesn't matter how many swastikas, I don't know how frequent they're going to be or whatever, but the fact that they're already not putting it in the zombies game mode is already one thing, So do you think they're gonna now let us play as Hitler? That's a whole nother animal. I mean, if they want to make this game mode completely historically accurate, obviously there would be no zombies at all. So it doesn't matter that there are no, swastikas. There were no zombies in real life anyway. So there's always some fiction there. You can change, you can switch things up. The reason why obviously they're not putting swastikas is not because they want it to be, a different storyline. They don't want to trigger people, and obviously that sort of makes sense to some extent. They don't want to like popularize the swastika and whatever. I understand that. I understand, you know, it's a sensitive topic, whatever. But that being said, it definitely is not going to let us have Hitler as a playable character. People would definitely be triggered at that. People would be like, how dare you let Hitler be a playable character? Obviously, he would be depicted in the campaign as this insanely evil villain, and within the normal campaign for Call of Duty World War II, maybe we won't play as Hitler, but I definitely think Hitler will be mentioned, or maybe Hitler will be seen. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So, just in zombies, Nazi zombies, actually seeing Hitler or even playing as Hitler, probably not going to happen, just because if they're already not adding swastikas, they're definitely not going to let us play as Hitler. Unless I'm wrong. Unless they decide that it would be a crazy, insane thing to have Hitler as this evil villain. Everyone hates him. He's this evil guy that's established in the Nazi Zombies game mode, and it'd just be a cool, interesting thing going back and forth between these different Nazi characters and the different allied forces fighting the Nazi zombies. I don't know. I just think that'd be a cool thing. So let me know what you guys think about that. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. I think that's not the best case scenario for a Nazi Zombies campaign for this new Sledgehammer game, but I think that'd be, definitely changing the game. It would definitely be changing things up. It wouldn't be, if they took my idea, or if they're doing my idea, it wouldn't just be, fighting Nazi zombies. I feel like if there's just a campaign fighting Nazi zombies, it'd make it seem like it's literally just the survival mode, but with a bunch of different quotes and maybe cutscenes. There's nothing really. I feel like it would get too repetitive, and to really change it up and make something that we're actually interested in, and to add some cool storyline to it, adding that different perspective and playing them as this evil villain, as a Nazi mad scientist, playing as Hitler, that'd be such an insane thing. I don't know. Whatever. Let me know what you guys think about that. Hope you guys did enjoy. Just a disclaimer. I'm not racist, okay? Hitler is a bad guy. I mean, I think everyone understands that, but I think playing as him as this insanely cool evil villain in a Nazi Zombies game mode, just to have that different perspective, and, going back and forth between these characters, I just personally think that would be an interesting storyline that they could take. Is it going to happen? 99% chance not going to happen, but I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Again, I'm not racist. Hitler's a bad guy. Okay, just to put that out there again. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later. Also, wait, if you're watching in this video, jeez, I don't want to be a. I can't joke around with this, man. Okay, comment below. I was gonna say comment below Hitler if you're watching that at the end of this video, but I'm gonna have a comments section full of Hitler comments. That's not good. Jesus. All right. Well, if you're watching at the end of this video, comment below. Hitler. If comment Hitler if you're watching at the end of this video, just so I know that you watched the whole video. Okay, that's the only reason why. I just want to see that you watched the whole video. That's all. Only reason why. Okay. It's such an edgy video. I'm sorry. Now that I really think about it, this is an edgy ass video. Okay, well, yeah. That being said, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.